To access all full body language videos, breakdowns and analysis, alongside the game that I can't feature here on YouTube, check out the Patreon, the link is in the description. Thanks.
Everyday superpower, we talk body language, relationships, game, everything in between. Put you onto some game, yeah. This is Fantasy 101. This is the story of most women's, overtly sexual fantasy novels and media. The Shades of Grey franchise in particular highlights and emphasizes this. She wants the man who can have anyone, but chooses her. Right? She wants the man who can have anyone, but chooses her. Pre-selection. The more the better. If you've got 5 women chasing you and she's aware of that, she's going to be attracted to you. Whereas if you've got 50 women chasing you, she's going to be even more attracted to you because it's a showcase of your social value. Men play it backwards and think that they have to be isolated to her. They have to be glued onto her. There can't be any other women. They have to shut off every other woman and they have to be completely devoted, dedicated 100% to her. And in a way, I don't disagree as far as the dedication is concerned. I don't believe in cheating, people will disagree with that and that, but I think, if our biological protocol is to bring us together, sometimes we have to fight against our nature in order to provide a good life for the children of our future, and cheating just doesn't do that really. So I say that to say this: she wants the man who can have anyone, but chooses her because that elevates her self-perceived worth. She's more in tune with the societal values of people than we are as men, right? Because it serves her purpose more. She needs to she needs to attach to somebody who she perceives of a higher value than her. That's how relationships work. And if she links on to a man who she perceives as lesser value than her, then she's probably going to cheat at some point. She's going to find an excuse to get that man to dump her for one way or another. She probably won't dump you herself. She'll make you dump her. So don't be afraid to be a well-loved man. Don't be afraid to have women flirt with you. Don't be afraid to have a little bit of a telling off or spike a degree of insecurity into the partner you love ever so much through this process, because believe it or not, she loves it. Believe it or not, she loves it. She wants spontaneity. She wants drama in her life. That's why women are attracted to drama programs. That's why women watch reality television and so forth, because drama is exciting and fun, right? Especially within the societal plane. It's all just fun and games, isn't it? It's just interpersonal relationships, just interpersonal communications, but it creates an anxiety of competitive value in her brain that has her work harder to keep you, that has her, and this sounds manipulative, but hey, if you want her to get bored and leave you because she's bored, then feel free. Because in a general relationship, the man wants stability, peace, and comfort, such as myself. I wish that women shared that same sentiment, right? But when we fall victim to the pattern of comfort and going to work and coming back and paying your bills and watching the television and everything's great, everything's fine, that woman slowly and surely gets bored and starts fantasizing about the man who is a little more exciting, has a little more going on. And that man isn't a loner who has got no attention. That man she fantasizes of is a man of value, and considering she has value, by default he should have women pursuing her, right? Pursuing him, right? That makes complete sense. If you're not valuable, you won't attract the attention of women. Whereas if you are valuable Women perceive that value. It's not about men perceiving that value. It's about other women perceiving that value, right? You might hold value within the realm of men as far as, you know, your sense of humor is concerned and your jokes and this and that. And given that you can somewhat portray a leadership role within that, she's going to find that attractive. But it's going to be 100-fold given that women want to take submittance to you and follow your lead, right? You can have anyone you want and you chose her. You elevated her to a space above and beyond these other women, these competitors. She's got competition anxiety because she needs to be aware as to where she stands in the societal plane, because it's a principle necessary to know if she's going to be able to procreate and have comfort for both her and her children in the future. It's her animalistic nature, right? I mean, we can sit here and think about all of this physical crap about, oh, sex feels good and we just want to have sex and we're just sexually interested. But no, there are few genuine, proper, animalistic, evolutionary, biological principles that underline every action we take, every action we don't take, what makes us scared, what makes us happy, what we're drawn to, what we're not drawn to. Atop of that comes the nurturing element as to how we were brought up, how we were influenced, who our parents were, who our parents were. And then, then we got the societal influence. And it gets weaker and weaker, but it all plays a role. But down at the bottom, the foundation of this pyramid is your hardwiring. And her hardwiring wants her to seek out a man who is of value from the world, because that is somebody of value in her world. That's the be all and end all. That's the be all and end all. The women want to have sex with the boss because the boss makes the most money, and the boss possesses this authoritative figure that she, as the submissive entity, craves to be in relation with, right? That's the masculine and the feminine. That boss is a leader of men in the fact that he tells the other men what to do. That's attractive to the woman, and that is the most overt declaration of hierarchical significance she needs. Like, it's there in front of her. She doesn't need to subconsciously work this out by doing the mathematic of how each and every person interacts. It just quite literally is there on paper. You know what I mean? So pay attention. She wants the man other women want. When I talk about that 50 Shades of Grey, is it 50 Shades? 50 Shades of Grey franchise. Yeah, he's a businessman. Yeah, he's rich. Yeah, he's got a dark streak to him. Yeah, he's mysterious. But think about how it was emphasized when every woman on planet Earth was reading this novel, all fantasizing about this same guy. This makes him larger than life. This really emphasizes and amplifies this man's value in the eyes of the world. Because now all these women are sitting around getting wet over this guy. Imagine if it was me he chose. And all these women are craving and lusting after this man, right? Imagine if it was a footballer. Every woman wants that footballer. First and foremost, he gets paid pretty bloody well. Second to that, he's handsome, he's fit, he's young, he's healthy, right? Brilliant. Perfect. I mean, it's all about the money, isn't it, really? But then there comes this self-indulgent feminine communication that if I'm seen with this man, all the other women are going to look at me and identify me as someone of value. And imagine the drama, right? I'm just putting you on game. Click like and subscribe. Peace. Everyday Superpower. We talk body language, relationships, game, everything in between. We've been doing a series of videos just covering the foundational principles of engaging with women and attraction and repulsion and the masculine and the feminine. And this one should go without saying, but people don't do this. This is the general consensus of all conversations ever. Men do not do this, right? So the moment you put this into consideration and you start to apply this in your conversations, you will find that you put yourself in a category above and beyond most men on planet Earth when it comes to dating in particular, but generally across the board, So I'm going to tell you, look at that, man. I need to get these sleeves shortened, I think. So stop talking too much about yourself. It's a sign of insecurity. It's a sign of overcompensation. It's a sign of egocentricity. It's a sign of self-indulgence. It's a it's something she knows. It's something she's not blagged by. The amount of conversations I've been in where there's been a man who's just spoken too much and the woman has ended up saying, all right, yeah, back to you. Do you know, in a smarmy way, in a jokey way, you know, to not provoke aggression from the man. But the way somebody will talk momentarily once they can get a word in edgeways, and then the person who responds finds a way of turning it back to themselves. Do you not think women pick up on that? Women are social creatures, men aren't. That's why men fuck this up all the time. That's why men need to get taught this. People don't care about you. People care about themselves first and foremost. They have lived in their own head since forever, right? They continue to live in their own head. They have their own thoughts, their own feelings, their own life experience, that through their own survival mechanisms need to put that above and beyond anybody else's thoughts and feelings, right? This isn't simply speaking on dating, but we're going to highlight it in that realm. This is speaking to anyone, making friends with everyone, making cohesive engagement and communication and conversation, and making someone feel noticed, right? You take a moment to sit in your house, in your apartment, in your room, in your hut. Just sit in it for days on end without speaking to no one, without engaging, without no one, without taking in any sunlight. Just sit there and you will start to feel depressed. You'll feel under the weather, even if you're not the most sociable person. The fact that you are removing yourself from the social human environment humans are supposed to reside in, the fact that you are removing oneself and becoming nothing is borderline death for the human being. To not be acknowledged is borderline death. To not be seen is borderline death. That woman has to wear makeup and dress well and have a body on her if she wants to be competitive with other women, because she has seen. Whether she likes it or not, it's because she is seen, right? If she is not seen, she withers away into nothing. The man is the same. Women never look at me. Why? Bloody, 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 blah. My brother, make a little bit of noise and maybe she will do, right? But this man is so desperate to be seen, he talks and he talks and he talks and he talks, and any excuse he has, he expresses himself and his life because he has this overinflated sense of self that serves as a defensive mechanism to overcompensate from the actual insecurity he's trying to hide. There is a little man inside him, a little boy inside him that he is trying to defend and look after and protect as his adult self by creating this defensive measure, this brick wall of word, this distraction and this delusional projection of how important he is, indirectly stating that by just talking about himself with no general interest of anyone else, right? If you approach it as a spectrum, narcissism being self-indulgent, complete self-absorption, and you leave that, depart that, show care for someone else, and you enter the empathetic realm, yeah? Which is what she wants. You meet her on her grounds there, right? My brother, go to a job interview and ask them about the job. Ask them about the work culture. Ask them about these things. And they're going to look at you gobsmacked, because you're going to be the only person who's gone in there who's actually, you know, superficially at the least, should I say, superficially at least, given a shit about the actual work, as opposed to just going there and talking about themselves. They're going to have something to talk about that they want to talk about, i.e. their experience in the workplace. And then, have you seen how this shit shifts? They are now trying to qualify themselves to you, as opposed to the vice versa. Isn't that amazing? You've won the game. How incredible is this information? The fact that you say, how has your day been today? Why is that? Do you not think too much of him? I thought somebody like you would be a little more resolute and calm about these things, you know. I must have got it wrong. Talk to them about them. They will feel seen. They will feel acknowledged. And you will flip the script as opposed to you just trying to sell yourself. They are now speaking to you indirectly, trying to sell themselves to you. You can just sit there. And as the time passes, 2 hours go on, 3 hours go on, they will leave the communication with you on their mind because they've still got so many questions that need answering. They've still got such a fascination on your depth of character, given the fact that you didn't really give too much away of your entity and who you actually are. And as you go through life engaging in these communications and conversations with people, learning from other people, experiencing other people, then your depth of character only increases as you go on. There's still more questions to be raised about you because you're learning about the human and you have a genuine interest. This isn't forced. This isn't fake. This comes from a genuine interest. Are you going on a date with a woman because you want to sell yourself, because you're in love with yourself? Are you gay? No. You're on that date with a woman because you like the woman and you want to get in that woman's trousers. So why not show interest in the woman? It's backwards otherwise. It's backwards. It's backwards, and you can say, oh, you don't want to show too much interest in the woman, blah, blah, blah. There's levels to it, my man. There's levels and there's boundaries and there's stages to this. The fact that you're actually on a date with this woman makes complete sense why you'd want to find out more about her. If you are a grown man, you want to find out more about her because you want to acknowledge the fact, is she worthy of your time? So you need to inquire, right? And she needs to sell herself to you. And before you know it, you're in bed because she needs to use her punani, right? She needs to weaponize that shit to ensure she can keep a hold of you, a man of value, or at least give you something of value that she treasures. And blah, 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 blah. That's a story for another time. How much do you know about the politicians who run your country? They speak generally, vaguely. They don't speak in exacts and absolutes. They don't speak on what they were thinking and who they are and who their family is. They don't speak on these things. They speak on things that matter to you. They engage with you. If that politician comes through the street, he's not stopping off, shaking hands with people, talking about himself. No, what he's doing is he is putting a front on like he gives a fuck. And he is speaking to the people and saying, oh, how are you today? Oh, yeah, what is it you do? Blah, blah. And that person's going to go home thinking they've met Superman because that politician actually cares about us. He doesn't. He just plays politics because he knows the power, right? Such as the most powerful people in the world know the power of showing interest and actual connection and care for those around them. Do you see this? Do you want to be a powerful person like that? Do you want to be a person who sends people home thinking, wow, what a great person. What I can't believe that he asked me how I was. Yeah, duh. But of course, there's levels to it, you know? You don't want it to be a job interview. Once I learnt this game, I went in there all guns blazing. I sounded like a robot for a minute. Honestly, I came across, you know what I mean, asking too many questions and just answering a question with another question and blah, blah, blah. Like I was over accentuating it. There is a feel you need to get. Yeah? And you need to find middle ground. You need to find common ground. You need to show that you are alike and you are not distant. You need to bring yourselves in together. And in doing so, when you hear that she's got an annoying co-worker who's done her head in, you ask why. And then you just briefly say, you know what? You're not the only one. I think we've all experienced something like that before. Blah, 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 blah. I connect with you. I'm empathetic to you. And we are as one. Right? So let's physically be as one by the end of the night. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's some game. Click like and subscribe. Stop talking about yourself. No one gives a fuck, honestly. I'm signing out. Peace. Everyday superpower. We talk body language, relationships, game, everything in between. Come in with a strong message today. Don't over prioritize her, you idiot. Don't do it. You've known someone over the years who has done this, and everyone, whether they do it before him or behind his back, everyone takes the piss out of him. They go, he's whipped. Don't over prioritize her because she hates it. Honestly, if you want to get cheated on, Make sure she knows she's your all and everything. Do I wish this was the world we lived in? Nah, not really. But it's reality, okay? Um, I say this from a position of freedom. Like, this isn't a red pill rage moment. This isn't something that should annoy you about the nature of a woman. You actually can have the life you want and live the life you want to lead and be independent and continue pertaining some degree of dignity, you know, without the need of being some lovey-dovey, overt, overcompensating, babbling baby idiot and giving her everything you've ever had, full stop. You'll get in a relationship with her. Well, you won't, because you're better than this. But some men, this is natural order. And then it results in the marriage. The woman gets everything they want, and the men are left, but, you know, demotivating every other man who is having troubles, saying, "Well, this is what marriage is like. Oh, marriage. Oh, this typical marriage. Oh, yeah. This is welcome to marriage. Give it another 2 years, it'll be even worse." Blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like it's a joke. Like your life is shit, and that's a joke because you have been taught that this is the right way of doing things. I'm not putting down marriage. Marriage is fine, but the way you've played this game, you've been reduced to but a mere kitten in your relationship where you once were a man. You're not a man anymore. You're like literally not a man. Well, you know where I'm coming from. Literally, you might be, but in my eyes, you have metaphorically descended into the depths of being but a cute feline, you know? Don't over prioritize her. When you over prioritize her, you get into a relationship. She loves you for who you are and the way you relate to each other, the way you communicate with each other. She says, "Oh, I like him because he's got a great successful business. He's an electrician. He makes quite a bit of money. He's got a good team. He's got loads of good friends around him. The boys, he calls them. He goes for pints with them. He sees his family often. Oh, I really like him for who he is." Yeah. And then you get into a relationship with her and you start slowly and surely throwing that all away by prioritizing her, thinking that she's going to love you more and more and more and more, the more time and attention and effort and resource and everything you throw at her. Nah, because you're now not the man she loved. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. The attributes, the character, the relationships you had prior to meeting her, you should only continue working on them, progressing on your goals, emphasizing and improving your friendships and relationships and social groups and circles and doing what you want to do. The moment you put them to one side for the sake of pleasing this woman, it might work the one time, the two time when you've spent a weekend together, and then suddenly before you know it, you can't go out and see your friends because you're seeing your missus. You can't go to the football and I'm speaking generally. I don't give a fuck about this bread and entertainment malarkey of, well, bread and circus malarkey, football stuff, but your common man, this is the common man who falls into this shit. Your big macho man who's overcompensating, so has to be big and macho because inside of him is some weak guy who gets manipulated by his wife because he's fallen into the trap of thinking this is the way things are, full stop, because he's seen it, the pattern work all around him ever since day one, because this is the normal life. It disgusts me. And he stops seeing the boys, he stops playing football. He used to enjoy playing football because he'd play it with the boys, he'd go to a certain team and all that, but then he found out, you know what, I can't juggle all my work and this and that, and I need to keep my missus happy because that's the most important thing, right? Keeping my missus happy. It's not about me being happy, it's not about me enjoying myself. So he stops playing football, he starts getting fat. She starts looking at him just like, fucking hell, like, you've given your passion away for me. You've given your time with your friends away for me. You have given your health away for me. For what? So we can sit in front of the telly, eating pizza, watching Love Island. Because that's what you've done. That's literally what you've done. That's literally what men do. You know, I know a guy, knew a guy. He says he's known for being whipped. He comes to us. He says, "Oh, I can't wait to have this weekend with a bit of silence. My missus is going to London. My missus is driving quite a distance to London. She's going to be away for the weekend. I'm just going to crack a beer open and I'm going to enjoy a moment to myself. All right, brilliant, mate. It'll do you some good. Well done, blah, de blah." Further into the week, he says, "Oh, yeah, my missus wants me to drive her down to London." And people just like, "Well, don't, you fucking idiot. Like, just let her go. Enjoy your time. You're just going on about how much you're going to appreciate this time to yourself." Anyway, he ends up driving her to fucking London. 5 hours drive, that is, to bring her back afterwards. For what? For what? What would happen if he said no? She'd say, "Oh my God. Oh my God. It took a year, but my partner's actually got a pair of fucking balls." I bet you, if he was to actually reveal to her that he was going to have a great time and relax and have a beer to himself and that, I bet that would have made her push even more to get him to drive her, to be her chauffeur, to spend his entire weekend going back and forth like a fucking prick to do. Because she can feel the exchange of energy. She gets a kick out of her dominance over him, and you best believe she don't find it attractive. She'll be sucking off the guy, the boss man, trust me. Because he's making himself out to be the woman in the relationship. So shit, I'm now a man. I need to find a man in my life to repress this masculine entity I have now, manifest over my being and my soul. I need to become a woman again. I need to feel womanly again, because I don't. I feel disgusting being with him. Because he prioritizes me. A woman will tell you years on in, because she's stuck with you within reason. There's a reason why she's stuck with you. Because you're working well. She'll say, "I feel like you never put me first. You never made me." Yes. Duh. Because if I put you first, then where do I go? And if you're first, how do you perceive me? If you're leading the way, if you're on the pedestal, if you're here, there and everywhere, above and beyond me, how do you perceive me? You look down on me, you look behind and see me. No, it's not going to work like that. It can't work like that. So I'll tell it to you simple, no. Never will happen, okay? She won't leave you. She won't leave you. She might have a huff and a puff and then suck it up. She won't leave you. That's the way it is. That's the way it has been there. If it ain't broke, why fix it? Don't over-prioritize her. She doesn't want that. She doesn't want that. She does not want that. If she wants to prioritize you, fine, but even to the same degree, when a woman is head over heels for you, I go out of my way to say, don't leave your friends for me. Don't not see your parents for me, right? Because that's going to look bad on me. Like, there you go. I'm serving myself first and foremost in saying, your friends are going to fucking hate me. Start bitching, bringing drama into my life. Do you know what I mean? I'm a peaceful guy. I can see the bullshit 10 steps ahead. Go see your people. Give me a shout. We'll sort something out when you're not busy. I'm happy. I don't need to see you, you see. I've got so much going on, so many options, so many things I can do respectfully. You do your thing, I'll do mine. And when we get a moment, we'll see each other. Stop over-prioritizing these women, man. They will fucking go. They'll stick with you, and then behind your back, they will go. On that note, I'm signing out. Peace. Everyday Superpower, where we talk body language, relationships, game, everything in between. Let me put you on game. If it's common, it's not appreciated. Learn to apply the principles of the market into your communications with women. Learn how to appreciate how the economy and the basic principle of scarcity and abundance influences dynamics between humans as a whole, how we're perceived, how we are approached, and who we are, how we apply ourselves to this world in the most social sense. If it's common, it's not appreciated. If you are like anybody else, why would you stand out to her? The most attractive men are the men who excel. The most attractive men are the men who have abundance of a positive quality, of a resource, of attention, of status, of that which she, within the feminine perspective, deems as a lack thereof in her life that she wants from you, or she wants to participate within, or she wants to tell her friends about, that her partner, her other half, the masculine to her feminine, possesses, because she garners that quality from you. And most importantly, the narcissistic trait of the human as a whole, let alone the woman, the egocentric side, wants to utilize you and weaponize you and what you are and what you have in order to garner and elevate the attention for herself from her people. Bada bing! So, what do you have what's special? You should accent that, you should highlight it. A lot of people are ever so scared to be different, to be ostracized, to be the black sheep, to be separate from the social norm. And I understand that there are certain elements to this you can't concentrate on and highlight, because it might be a promotion of that which is a detriment to you. But you have to face the music sometimes, and you have to be different, and you have to isolate particular qualities that make you an individual, make you a character, and promote that, advertise that as a USP, a unique selling point. Yeah. How many condiments are there in the supermarket? But you buy, if not want, a specific condiment because it serves a particular purpose that the others might not. Maybe that's value, maybe that's price, maybe that's flavor, maybe that's marketing and branding, maybe it's the manufacturer, maybe it's recommendations, maybe it's reputation. Look and observe and assess all these things. You are alike that condiment, you are alike that sauce, because you are on the market as a product of such, and she is the consumer. I'm putting you on some good game. You got to click like and subscribe on this one. So, what is common isn't appreciated. Is it undervalued? No, it's valued appropriately. That which there is an abundance of lacks in value, lacks in identity, lacks in independence, lacks in the isolate value where we can see it and appreciate it for all it is. Yes? If gold was as common as silver or iron or steel or copper or anything in between, we would not value it or have our own perception of how it's valued within the dynamic of these materials, such as the diamond. I mean, we could go into the tin foil hat thing. It is all manufactured, socially engineered public perception of how rare these things are. There's more materials than you would believe, but the way it's advertised makes out that there's a lack of, so you purchase the product. Now, pay attention, because then we take that information and understanding and education and we apply that to ourselves. You're not going to find another man like me. You're not going to find another man who shares these same qualities and behaviors. Whereas the reality is, yes, you will. There's billions of people on this planet. She will do. We're not. Let's not be so self-indulgent that we think we are the all and everything. No, she will find our reflection in another man who probably excels above and beyond us in multiple different dimensions. Right? But the fact that we aren't aware of this individual, and through acting upon our own naivety and ignorance, we just go with the flow and say, if I don't know it, then it doesn't exist, right? I've not been to space, so in my opinion, space doesn't exist. They speak of a firmament in the Bible. I think there's a dome across this bitch. But I would get called stupid for having such opinion. But that opinion is scarce. And that scarcity raises room for discussion that interlinks with the realm of spirituality, isolates itself even further in the realm of biblical context and Christianity, because Christians don't speak on this and generally don't believe in this and generally don't identify in this. And, you know, before you intervene with a comment, whether I do or don't actually believe on that isn't the point. The fact of the matter is, it's something new, something exciting, something as to where I'm not going to sit there and debate because I couldn't give a flying fuck. I'm not there to argue with a girl I'm dating, but I'm providing information and insight and a different perspective on her reality. I'm literally shifting her reality as opposed to joining her in her frame, in her reality, and saying, yeah, I'm just like you. I do everything you do. You do everything I do. So she can just see me as a representative, as the feminine, because she is a female. And if I represent everything she does, then what does that make me? But we could go off into the spiritual realm. We could go into the realm that I'm so unique in the fashion that the largest leading religion on planet Earth is Christianity, yet she's not heard a Christian on planet Earth speak of this. And I'm not a Christian, but, you know. And then we can talk on an offshoot about worldly secrets and how the macro represents the micro. And before you know it, we're not talking about the big and the large and the infinite no more. I'm talking about her. And I'm talking about the way she works and what exists within her and how that reflects the gorgeous cosmos and the universe as to what's been advertised to us. She is as beautiful as that. You need to understand. You should embrace your uniqueness. You should embrace your pursuits. You should understand and embrace and identify the fact that no one's going to support you on your independent journey, where you want to go, what you want to build, what you want to achieve, because nobody sees your vision. So a lot of people won't go forward because they'll get put down by the opinions of others, or they'll expect the support from others. They'll think that they've got a great idea. No, until it manifests in real life, until it manifests within tangible material, income or resource or possession or identification, no one's going to support you. So that scarcity of association, that independence of thought, that independence of meaning, that route you can take that creates a lane of your own making, of your own friction and desire and trials and tribulations, is going to make something of you that has such degree of depth. She will think, who the heck is this guy? As opposed to the man who's presented everything that's been presented before. Numbnuts who comes forth and says, oh, my friend's done this, or my family is this, or I watch this entertainment, or I'm involved in this. Everything to do with pop culture, and pop culture is manufactured to garner to the general masses and direct the general masses into a state of numbness, into a state of, you know, cattle-esque subservience to the powers that be. When you come and present yourself as a man who isn't that and has taken their own route and who has devised their own opinions and their own matter and is shameless in the fact of doing so, then you will be perceived as valuable. She looks into you, not at you. That's some quick game for you there. Click like and subscribe. Peace. Everyday superpower where we talk body language, relationships, game, everything in between. All right, people. I come with a bold message, bold statement. She will give it to you if she wanted to. If she wanted to, she'll throw it at you, mate. Don't be misguided. Don't be misguided. Oh, maybe next date. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Don't get me wrong, progression is progression. If she gives you a little bit of a smooch, if she gives you a second date to keep things flowing and so forth, but there's levels to this shit, yeah? And I don't care how much of a perfect princess she is, if she's there sitting across the table on that first date or engaging with a man at the supermarket as to whom she deems someone so valuable she can't rid of her life right now. What's her bargaining chip? What's her most valuable possession? Yes, she'll throw it at the man. If she wanted to, she'll give it to you. Bruh, I'm abstaining and retaining at this moment in my life. Smooth for a moment, but I just came out of a longer dating period where I met a few women, to say the least. And the idea is, right, these women will sleep with you on the first night if they have a good time, if they perceive you as somebody who is there for that and somebody they would like to have fun with. Full stop. Full stop. When it comes to somebody who you date a second time and then maybe a third time and it doesn't progress to that, my brother, she is actually perceiving you as lesser and lesser as time goes on, even though she might be abstaining from you because that's what she feels she has to do. But the thing is, she feels like she has to do it because she can do it with you. Because if it was a man of value, if it was a celebrity, he doesn't have the time to be messing around going on multiple dates, and he will be seeing other women. He will be garnering attention and attraction from other women. So she needs to lock him down ASAP. So she will throw it at him. My brother, if you're dating and you're not getting laid and you think it'll happen next time, no. If it's not happening on that first night, you need to tighten your shit up. Honestly. I know people who just like, oh, yeah. I'm going to go on a date with her. And then they just go for a flipping walk around the park and then that's it. And then it's just like, oh, no, well, I'm not really in it to have sex anyway. And it's like, well, yeah, I understand that. But clearly the idea of doing so is off the table anyway, because there should be potential. If she's not doing so, there is no sexual interest. There is no valuation to a higher degree of that man through her perception, because she is not trying to tie him down. It's in her imperative, it's in her biological nature in order to seduce that man and engage in intercourse to lock that man down so she can garner the fruit of her labours and her bargaining with his resource. But clearly she's not attracted to him. Surely he's not a valuable man. Surely he's got no future. Surely he's weird and doesn't create the appropriate space where she feels the freedom and want and need to do that. We did a video based on, it's not about her liking you, it's about her wanting you, right? Oh, well, we had a laugh and we got along and we had a good time. I don't know why she won't come back to mine. Because she don't want you, brother. She doesn't want you. She doesn't need you. She likes you, yeah? Such as she likes her gay best friend. She likes him. She doesn't want him in that particular manner. You know what I mean? So, let's go back to the basics, yes? She will give it to you ASAP if she wanted to. Wholeheartedly, of course. If you engage with a sexual undercurrent and given the nature of the man who is wanted by women, the man who works naturally on a time restraint because he's here today, gone tomorrow, or he's so valued in the market that he has an abundance of choices and options, she will make it very clear that she is available to a degree where, one, you can date her, two, she will invite herself over, or you can invite yourself over to theirs, right? Indirectly to directly by the end of the night. Yeah? I'm not a multi-billionaire, people. I'm not 6'5", people. I am not the be-all and end-all. I am but a man just like you. But I can tell you this. Regardless of what society tells you, regardless of what women get told, regardless of how you get told you have to perceive women. Oh, well, if she sleeps with me on the first night, I don't think that's wifey material. It's like, well, bro, you're not husband material because you should have better things to do than just go and chin wag and hee and ha ha with a woman who is not giving you anything. She doesn't perceive you of that high degree of value, because if you sleep with her on the third night and she slept with someone on the first night, that showcases a dynamic there of where you stand in relation to the next man and how she perceives that next man in relation to you. Boom. When it comes to business, it's about speed. Get it done. Orchestrate it, get it done. We'll move on there. You know? Move on from there. So, that's what I've got to say. Should we leave that as a very brief one? I'll leave that as a brief one. You tell me what you think. I'm signing out. Peace. Everyday Superpower, where we talk body language, relationships, game, everything in between. Alright, people. Alright, people, let me hit you with a statement. A woman will look into you, not at you. Okay? The looking at you serves purpose for the initial impression. From there on, it's in the favour of the depth of your character. How you express yourself, how cohesive you are with your words, the message you put across, and how it translates. Over time, she continues to see you for who you are, outside of your own awareness. She sees the sides of you, the shadows of you, the elements of you, the patterns of you repress and daren't even identify yourself. It's within her protocol to do so, to ensure that she is with someone who is safe, someone who can abide and provide to the degree she finds a necessity, and somebody who serves the masculine purpose, her feminine purpose, wants to identify with. We, speaking on society generally as men, look at a woman's needs through the lens of our needs. We project our own wants and needs onto the woman, having not been educated or told to take serious the differentiation between how we perceive the world and how we are biologically driven to approach the opposite sex, whom portrays particular traits and qualities and resources and so forth. So men will say, because I love a beautiful woman, because I love a fertile woman, because I love a woman with these proportions, because I love a woman who showcases health in this regard, because I love a woman who wears this clothing, because I love a woman who... And they will project that that woman strictly wants and needs and is attracted to a man who manifests in a manner that she finds aesthetically appealing, when it couldn't be anything further than the truth. She will sleep with the rich man if he's not good looking. She will sleep with the popular man if he's not good looking and not fashionable. She will sleep with the man who has upwards momentum, who has a safe and secure family unit, who has value within the realm she identifies as valuable, and that's a different world to what you as a man deem valuable and attractive in the woman. She will look into you, not at you. When you're dating, she will look into your character, she will look into your patterns, she will look into your haves and have-nots. She will look and apply certain characteristics and behaviours side by side with the men she's met in her life, her father, her ex-boyfriends, her friends, the people who are portrayed on the reality shows she watches. She is going to place you side by side with this abundance of societal information she has garnered over the years and still does to this point. It doesn't matter if you're good looking, if you're a bum. It doesn't matter if you're good looking, if you have hygiene or mental health issues to a degree she's turned off. It does not matter if you are good looking and dress well, if it's going to create a disgusting taste on her tongue, metaphorically speaking, to be with you. It doesn't matter if you look great, if it's social suicide for her. She has got her own values, and you need to excel or at least mystify those values so it stimulates her imagination and fascination as she discovers the inner depths of yourself. It's not about just dressing up and hoping for the best and having no identity. No. She wants to find that which she is searching for within you. She wants to find the archetype that fulfills her void, that she elevates to a spiritual plane within you. She wants to find the father figure or the elements of the father that she didn't receive within you. She wants to find the maturity, the development, and the masculine nature, the man in you that she did not find in her earlier partners. She's not coming to you hoping to see a Ralph Lauren polo top. She's not coming to you to see True Religion jeans. She's not coming to you to see a three-piece suit. Now, don't get me wrong. You can accent and utilize this and personify that particular archetype and showcase that which is you through this material possession. But if it does not align, if it is not congruent with the reality of such, then it's going to be a short-lived relationship. How many men are walking out there with Gucci shirts on? How many men are walking out there with Prada written over their shirt? But they work a job as to where it's unfeasible to actually be spending their money on such. She's going to question, where's the money coming from? Is he still getting money from mummy and daddy? If so, maybe I should be sexually interested in the dad because he's obviously the one with the resources. So understand the nature of the woman and understand she doesn't look at you. She looks in you, right? Hopefully you reflect something of benefit. That's game. Click like and subscribe. Peace. Everyday Superpower, where we talk body language, relationships, game, everything in between. Something you know about. If you've seen other people get in relationships, some of you might lie to yourself and say this doesn't happen to you, but it happens to everyone else, right? I'm going to talk to you about men changing when they get into a relationship and how that results in the woman leaving him. She develops her backbend, she finds someone more suitable for the job and she leaves for him. That's the way it goes. A man and woman meet together. She finds interest in him for who he is, what he represents, what he does, his social circle, his status within the hierarchy he resides in, the independence and the freedom he possesses at that particular moment in time. She finds interest in that. Her feminine qualities match up to his masculine qualities, or at least bounce off in a fruitful communication, and she is biologically attracted to this man. Maybe genetically he serves good purpose, you know, their kids are going to look good and their kids are going to be able to procreate because of that, which is, you know, the biological principle of the alpha male and how they end up being fortunate, sexually speaking. Or maybe she sees good father qualities in him, which is probably the majority, the beta fashion when it comes to the man. So she finds comfort and provision and a good future with this man, so she wants to procreate with him. She gets in a relationship with him, right? Now, it's funny because the masculine principles and qualities the man possesses as a single man aren't as concentrated and emphasized and fine-tuned when he's in a relationship, such as the idea of independence. She's attracted to the masculine is independent, but now that single man is in a relationship, so the idea of independence still exists and resides as a principle and a necessity for that man to enjoy a fruitful life and have a great relationship and have her continue to respect him. But the dynamic has shifted. He doesn't have this natural baseline independence that once was, because now, in a way, he's joined on to his feminine counterpart. So already we're starting to see a deterioration as to how that woman could perceive that man, to say the least. He had things to do on a weekend that he used to express colour and vibrancy during the dating process. He says, on the weekends, I see my friends, we do this, we get up to this, I enjoy this time, my friends are blah, 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 blah. They perceive me as somebody cool. I'm expressing a degree of social validation and social status by speaking of these times. And I'm talking about your common man. This guy's not running game. I mean, he will in his own realm, but he's not educated on the deeper levels of these things when it comes to the dating protocol and, you know, man and woman. But he's your standard guy. He's a good man. He's a good man. He's not a bad man. But he enjoys spending a bit of time at the weekends, blah, 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 blah. So does she. She likes seeing her girlfriends and so forth. Now, they get into a relationship, and over time, he's seeing her on the weekends now. And she's bringing up to him, oh, when was the last time you saw so-and-so? When was the last time you saw Tom? When was the last time you saw Stevie? When was the last time you saw, you know, your friends? And he goes, oh, you know what, I've just not been able to find the time, blah, blah, blah. And she's thinking to herself, well, you have got the time because you're here with me and you spend that time with me. And then she starts to understand that he is prioritizing her over the life he once had, which elevates her value in her own eyes on a subconscious basis. And given that her sense of self is being validated and elevated, this is one part of an ongoing process that will slowly and surely blow her head up to her perceiving herself as more important and better than the man. And that man needs to be in dominant position, needs to be in leadership position, needs to obtain and pertain the vital factors that is a necessity in order for him to be respected by that woman, for her to stay around, for her to perform in this submissive role, to operate in the appropriate and genuine fashion of man and woman. They go from seeing each other every weekend to living with each other. And your general man who doesn't understand the necessity of upwards momentum, putting himself first, being selfish to a degree because in the long run it aids the family unit, and restraining from giving everything to her as far as the depths of his understanding and knowledge and so forth, he becomes but an understandable pet in the household. He doesn't surprise her no more. He's got no more depth to his being that she can question. Who is this guy? What does he really think? Who's he going out with? What's he doing? She doesn't have to think those things no more. If anything, she starts to slowly resent him because she sees him for what he is. And when we see people for who they are, inside and out, it gives us an indirect disdain to the shallow value of that what once had depth. It's ever so exciting when you watch a new film that fulfills your desires and appeals to your personal criteria of what you look for in your entertainment. But the moment you watch the film, it rids of most of the value because you've gone through the story, you've gone through the plot, you've met the characters, you've seen the drama, you've experienced the drama. And to do it again, to meet these people again, to see where they go again, to see the story again, to know how it ends again, it starts to become a little boring. We love a song, we listen to it over and over because we love it so much, and we think we're never going to stop loving this song. But slowly and surely, it wears on our senses. We get sick of it. Such as the sweet foods we eat. If that film was you, your relationship, your dynamics, and you found the means to not create a resolution to that film, it doesn't finish. If anything, it continues moving, You're thinking, when's this going to end? We've had so many highs and lows and exciting moments and, so many economical dynamic developments throughout this experience. When's it going to end? This is incredible. I'm having a fantastic time, but this is unlike anything I've experienced before. I thought a film was only 2 hours long. I've never experienced something as thrilling as this. If you can apply that sense of understanding and metaphorical value in your relationship, then you see where I'm coming from. She now sees him for what he is. And considering there's nothing new, considering he is perceiving his relationship through the eyes of his own, through his own perception, through the man's world, the love and care of order, of consistency, of the pattern he finds comfort within. He fails to see that the woman wants excitement and spontaneity and random occurrence and to be surprised and to be emotionally engaged. There's now no emotional engagement. It's also rational and logical. It's also mundane. To you, you find comfort. You have now got the peace you've always wanted. At least it will be short-lived because she's going to start to introduce the drama that you're not able to provide. So your peace is now going to be disrupted as the power dynamic starts to shift. Okay? She has expressed and explored your boundaries. She knows exactly who you are. It's now time for her to start poking at them to garner the emotional necessity she finds a necessity within the relationship. She is sickened by the man who gives up on the man he was prior to the relationship, now due to the fact she is within his life. Because it makes clear that you were just going to the gym and looking good out of desperation to find a woman. And now, unfortunately, I am that woman. I feel shit for being that woman because it feels like I've fallen into a trap here because you clearly weren't the person you were advertised out to be initially. because you're now not training no more, you're now not running no more, you're now not swimming no more, you're now not playing football no more, you don't look good no more. I'm aesthetically starting to fall out of love with you. You're not showcasing the ambition and the desire and, you know, the progression within that health and fitness field, which I'm starting to get disgusted by. I'm starting to get disgusted by the fact that if you continue behaving in such a manner, you're not going to be a good parent because you're going to get ill. And I need you to be healthy for the future, which is what I was interested in outside of my own awareness initially. But I was biologically, I had to pull towards you because you were healthy. You see where I'm coming from? And there will be moments in the initial periods of the relationship. There will be moments 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 50 years down the line where you still have to continue saying, no, I can't do that because I'm doing this. No, I'm seeing my friends because I arranged it with them. No, I'm doing this, that, and the third. No, I'm leaving the country to go on holiday because I deserve some time. No, you're not coming by the way. I just want to enjoy some time by myself. You know? You still retain 90% of that independence you once had. The 10% is given to her. You're now not identified as the most independent man in the world because clearly you're in a relationship, which is fine. That's inevitable. But you have to ensure that you don't lose yourself in finding a woman who likes you at the very most, or at the very least. You choose. Because that's a very weak man. That's a man who doesn't have the independence that's necessary to be a man. That's a man who doesn't have the drive and the ambition to be the man that she wants. That's not the man who has the independent, self-determined mindset and action that is a necessity to be the man she wants, or the man that is perceived as a man, full stop, in this grand stage of life. That's some game. Click like and subscribe. I'm signing out. Peace.